Hey, it's Tiffany with Buckwater Greenhouse, and we're going to be showing you the proper way to plant a shrub. The bush I have picked out today is a quick fire hydrangea. Now these love the sun. They get white blooms that will gradually change to pink as they age. This also gets about 6 to 8 foot tall, which is perfect for where I'm putting it in the back of my landscape. So it'll get nice and high so I can see it and have tons of beautiful blooms throughout the summer. In order to plant it, one of the best things you can use is a good garden mix. I'm using ProMix garden mix, which is a peat-based mix that has slow-release fertilizer already mixed in with it. It lasts 9 months, so it's kind of a feed and soil amendment all in one. And then to get my bush off to a good start, I recommend using Root and Grow, which is a root starter. And I can just mix this in with my watering can, and I'll go ahead after I plant my bush and water it in with that. It's going to give it tell the plant to send its roots out and get started growing rather than just sit there. And other tools you're going to need, you got a shovel and a kneeler. An extra helper is always nice too. This is my youngest, Jace. We're going to plant a bush. You going to help me? Okay. Well, first we got to stand up because we're not going to get much planted sitting down. Ready? Okay, let's dig our hole. Okay. First off, you need to dig your hole about twice as wide as your pot and 1.5 times as deep. There, you can help me dig. So let's get going. So I wanted to show you the reason why we are doing the soil amendment in the first place. When I first started digging, you probably noticed the dirt was real nice and dark and it was very crumbly. It was really nice. But as I got deeper, I got into some real clay type soil, which is very sticky and easily, just formed in your hand. And this is very typical of Ohio, is to have this real hard clay soil, which is not very conducive for plant growth. So that's why we're mixing that ProMix garden mix in with it. And the other reason why I dug deeper was if I had only gone as deep as what this plant was, then I wouldn't have the extra room for the roots to go down deep. So now that I have it deeper than what the pot is, I'm going to add in my garden mix. Look at that. Real nice peat mix. Put some of that down in the hole. If you get these hard chunks of clay like that, it's good to mix those, pre-mix those in with it. You just don't want it to be the straight garden mix, because our goal is to get this clay loosened up and enriched. And so I'm going to work my way back up so that when I place my bush in the hole, it is level with the ground, the top of the ground. I'll go ahead and take it out of its pot here. Okay, so roots aren't too bad. Still good to look at loosening them up with my fingers, kind of tease them a bit. Let's see how this sets. Too deep. The top of the soil in where the plant was in the pot is below the level of my ground. So I'm going to add some in here. Another thing I'll do is just add this into my pile where I took all that soil out and mixed it in with that. So when I add it back in, it's already mixed. Now let's try again. Almost there. Third time's a charm. There we go. Okay. Now I got it level with the soil line. Before I finish covering it up here, finish mixing this in with the topsoil I took out. And I'm going to do my root and grow treatment before I cover up the roots. You could water it in afterwards, but the more it comes in direct contact with the roots, the better. And this I'm going to add 4 tablespoons to a gallon of water. Now I get it right in there on the roots. This has a rooting hormone that tells the plant it needs to focus on growing roots, not leaves or producing flowers. It needs to focus on growing roots, which is great when you first plant a new bush or flowers even, because oftentimes they will go into something called transplant shock, where the plant just sits there and does nothing. It's almost like it doesn't know who he is or where he is, and then you end up having problems later on when it gets hot or dry, because the plants don't have a good established root system. So I'm going all the way around. Got to break up some more of those clay chunks. The birds are out singing tonight. Don't need those roots. That's from something else that was here. Okay, now that I fill it all the way around, I'm going to go back over it and push down around the base of the plant. Make sure it's filled in, packed in, because it's going to settle. Another reason why it's good to do this before you mulch, because it can be a kind of messy. Hi JJ. Did you get under the porch? Yeah. How'd I do, Buck? Does that look good? Jeez! I'll even go and step around the base of it too, just to make sure it's really well packed. Level it out one more time. I'm almost done. And then finish watering in. There we go. Now all we need to do is a good set of mulch and we're done. So at Buckwater Greenhouse, when you purchase shrubs or perennials, we will guarantee those for 2 years when you add Root and Grow Root Starter and Pro Mix Garden Mix to your purchase. The combination of the two gives you a lot higher success rate, and that's why we stand behind our guarantee. Thanks for joining us, and let's get gardening.